Onto the handle, we're gonna need the leather strap, the super glue. I use Gorilla super glue, and some good scissors. First of all, we want to cut the leather for the base first. And here's my little stencil. If you don't have one, which you probably won't, you just want to undercut it first. If you overcut, you can't recover from that, obviously, so go with smaller angles first, like that, for example, until you find the correct angle for the strap. It should overlap each loop around 5mm, I would say. So I'm not going to cut this much, I'm going to cut off a little bit less for starters. So let's say around that much maybe for starters. Then judge from that. Hold on a second. Oh, did I cut off too much? I don't think so. Quite a short angle. So anyway, you want to test it, see how it's gonna loop. Feels like it's overlapping around 5mm. Feels about right. Now you might want to strap the whole handle first, just to measure your length. If you're just to check if you're overlapping too much, too little. But I know how much I need, so I'm just gonna go right ahead. I'm gonna go straight into the super glue, and the way I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna pull it rather tight because I want to see the overlap. I'm gonna use quite a lot of super glue, as you're gonna see me. And what I'm doing now is I'm gonna like stroke it so that it covers the other side as well. So you see? Then I'm gonna do some of the tip as well. Not too much. Now you might want to use a gloves for this, because knowing me, for example, I would get loads of super glue on me. So if you don't want super glue on your hands, use some gloves. Anyway, right, where am I? So right up to the edge, push it down. Now stretch it. Now before I move on, I'm going to put loads of super glue down on the rest of the handle, because I want this leather strap to stay in place nice and firm. But I'm gonna do like around, what, how much is that? 7 centimeters at a time. So tight. Yep, got some super glue on me already. The other side. Let's stretch it. Let's stretch it. The first bit is the hardest, I would say. Then it gets a bit easier. Let's see, that's around 5mm overlap. Yep. And now you just keep stretching. Make sure not to get the super glue on the leather itself, as on the front side. Now this may be a bit difficult if you want OCD perfect like measurements, because this is quite hard to judge. So try to fight your OCD about perfection and just go with what feels about right, I guess. Okay, need more super glue. You see, I'm only putting super glue on one side because it's gonna sit in place very nicely anyway, so you don't need too much, as long as you do it tight and it sticks to at least one side. just have a look at how it's done. It looks very good so far. So more super glue. Just balancing my super glue upside down. Looking good. Okay, need more super glue. Nearly there. Like I might have. Looks like I might have quite a bit of excess. Cut off. There's quite a lot of excess to cut off. Right, now give this a second just to make sure the super glue is firm, it's getting stuck down before you start cutting. Actually, you might want to just go around it. Get maybe a marker pen. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just draw a guided line just after the pommel, where I think it might end up, and I'm going to cut just a bit further away from that in case I'm wrong about the line. But once it's cut almost there, we can check how it's done, and then we can make precise cuts. Let's see. I need to cut way more, obviously. Otherwise, it'll start looking like that. Yep. I need to cut way more. Okay, let's check that. Okay, so the tip is fine, but where the start of the cut, I think I need to angle it a bit more, so I need to get rid of here more, so it needs to be a steeper angle basically. Yeah, so let's do that. Hopefully that's not too much. Let's give it a go. Yeah, that would be about perfect, I think. But it's overlapping a bit too much here, I think. Let's test that. Yeah, that will be perfection. Okay. So now, we need to brace ourselves. So we're going to do quite a bit of super glue here. Then we're going to hold it in place once we're going to leave that much overhang before we stick the final tip down, just to make sure this area is nice and stuck in place. Now for the tip, there will be some super glue seeping out just under the pommel, but that's just the way I'm gonna go about it. If you can find better ways, that's great, but I don't mind the excess, a little bit of super glue for the end of the handle. I'd rather have a very, very secure leather strap than not a very secure strap. Okay, that's very good. Let's see. I'm just gonna hold this until it's a bit more stuck down, the super glue. Okay, I'm gonna start gluing this side down. But as you can see, I'm putting the super glue on the bottom side of the handle, the pommel area, because I don't want it seeping onto the handle itself. I'd rather seep onto the pommel area, you see here. So at least it just goes on one side at least. And the way you might want to protect your fingers is perhaps use the bit of leather that you cut off. It's gonna hold the tip. I still haven't put all of the super glue down. And this is quite difficult. Okay. I'm not gonna bother with the tip just yet. I'm gonna hold it like that. You see, I have some super glue here that's coming out onto the handle. Like I said, I don't want. So the way I'm gonna fix that is I'm gonna get a piece like this, and I'm just gonna brush that. It's kind of difficult. Make sure there's no super glue on your fingers, and brush it down. See, it's pretty much gone, just like that. Brush it down. And I'm just gonna put more super glue on the tip. Now this is where it might get a bit messy, but it's about strength rather than perfection and looks, I think, here. So see, it's pretty much stuck down now with the super glue. Okay, so now I'm going to use this bit. I'm going to push this down. Let's see this with the fingers first. It's because it seeps so much here, because I'm using quite a lot of super glue. See? Now just push it down with the bit you cut off. There we go, and then just hold that for a few minutes until it's securely glued down. I'm just going to use another piece that I cut off just to clean it off, clean off the excess. Okay. And push it down. And now it's a matter of a waiting game really until it dries. I should really push this area down as well because it's kind of lifted at the moment. I'm not sure if it's in my interest. Okay, that's pretty well glued down now. So I'm just going to use a big bit. And I'm going to push down this because it's not as close to the handle. It's kind of lifted because of the way it's going round. I'm just going to push it down a bit. Now this shouldn't be making contact with super glue. I'm just using it to make sure my skin doesn't touch the super glue basically. But that's pretty much it. It's the handle on. It looks very good. Hold it for like a minute. Okay. Now just leave it and handle the pommel area. We'll pick it up by here and just place it for it to dry.